Bible in a year. Day 86, Joshua 16, 17, and 18. Joshua 16. The lot came out for the children of Joseph from the Jordan at Jericho, at the waters of Jericho on the east, even the wilderness going up from Jericho through the hill country to Bethel. It went out from Bethel to Luz, and passed along to the border of the Archites to Ataroth. And it went down westward to the border of the Japhlethites, to the border of Beth Horon, the lower, and on to Gezer, and ended at the sea. The children of Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim took their inheritance. This was the border of the children of Ephraim according to their families. The border of their inheritance eastward was Ataroth, Adar to Beth Horon, the upper. The border went out westward at Mikmethath on the north. The border turned about eastward to Tanath Shiloh, and passed along it on the east of Janoah. It went down from Janoah to Ataroth to Nerah, reached to Jericho, and went out at the Jordan. From Tapua the border went along westward to the brook of Cana, and ended at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim according to their families, together with the cities which were set apart for the children of Ephraim in the middle of the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages. They didn't drive out the Canaanites who lived in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwell in the territory of Ephraim to this day, and have become servants due to forced labor.
Joshua chapter 17. This was the lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph. As for Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war. Therefore he had Gilead and Bashan. So this was for the rest of the children of Manasseh, according to their families, for the children of Abiezer, for the children of Helik, for the children of Asriel, for the children of Shechem, for the children of Hepher, and for the children of Shemidiah. These were the male children of Manasseh, the sons of Joseph, according to their families. But Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but daughters. These are the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tisra. They came to Eleazar the priest, and to Joshua son of Nun, and to the princes, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us inheritance among our brothers. Therefore, according to the commandment of the Lord, he gave them an inheritance among the brothers of their father. 10 parts fell to Manasseh, in addition to the land of Gilead and Bashan, which is beyond the Jordan. Because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance among his sons, the land of Gilead belonged to the rest of the sons of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh was from Asher to Mikmelath, which is before Shechem. The border which went along to the right hand to the inhabitants of En Tapua, the land of Tapua, belonged to Manasseh, but Tapua on the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim. The border went down to the brook of Cana, southward of the brook. Those cities belonged to Ephraim among the cities of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh went on the north side of the brook and ended at the sea. Southward it was Ephraim's, and northward it was Manasseh's. And the sea was his border. They reached to Asher on the north, and to Issachar on the east. Manasseh had 3 heights in Issachar, and Asher, Beth Shean and its towns, and Ibleam and its towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and its towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and its towns, and the inhabitants of Tanakh and its towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and its towns. Yet the children of Manasseh couldn't drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land. When the children of Israel had grown strong, they put the Canaanites to forced labor and didn't utterly drive them out. The children of Joseph spoke to Joshua, saying, "Why have you given me just one lot, and one part for an inheritance, since we are a numerous people? Because the Lord has blessed us so far." Joshua said to them, "If you are a numerous people, go up to the forest and clear the land for yourself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the Rephaim, since the hill country of Ephraim is too narrow for you." The children of Joseph said, "The hill country is not enough for us. All the Canaanites who dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both those who are in Beth Shean and its towns, and those who are in the valley of Jezreel." Joshua spoke to the house of Joseph, that is, to Ephraim and to Manasseh, saying, "You are a numerous people and have great power. You shall not have one lot only, but the hill country shall be yours. Although it is a forest, you shall cut it down, and its farthest extent shall be yours. For you shall drive out the Canaanites, though they have chariots of iron, and though they are strong."
Joshua 18. The whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled themselves together at Shiloh and set up the tent of meeting there. The land was subdued before them. 7 tribes remained among the children of Israel, which had not yet divided their inheritance. Joshua said to the children of Israel, "How long will you neglect to go in to possess the land, which the Lord, the God of your fathers, has given you? Appoint for yourselves 3 men from each tribe. I will send them, and they shall arise, walk through the land, and describe it according to their inheritance. Then they shall come to me. They shall divide it into 7 portions. Judah shall live in his borders on the south, and the house of Joseph shall live in their borders on the north. You shall survey the land into 7 parts, and bring the description here to me. And I will cast lots for you here before the Lord our God. However, the Levites have no portion among you, for the priesthood of the Lord is their inheritance. Gad, Reuben, and the half-tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance east of the Jordan, which Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave them." The men arose and went. Joshua commanded those who went to survey the land, saying, "Go walk through the land, survey it, and come again to me. I will cast lots for you here before the Lord in Shiloh." The men went and passed through the land and surveyed it by cities into 7 portions in a book. They came to Joshua to the camp at Shiloh. Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before the Lord. There Joshua divided the land to the children of Israel according to their divisions. The lot of the tribe of the children of Benjamin came up according to their families. The border of their lot went out between the children of Judah and the children of Joseph. Their border on the north quarter was from the Jordan. The border went up to the side of Jericho on the north and went up through the hill country westward. It ended at the wilderness of Beth Aven. The border passed along from there to Luz, to the side of Luz, also called Bethel, southward. The border went down to Ataroth Adar by the mountain that lies on the south of Beth Horon the lower. The border extended and turned around on the west quarter southward from the mountain that lies before Beth Horon southward and ended in Kiriath Baal, also called Kiriath Jearim, a city of the children of Judah. This was the west quarter. The south quarter was from the furthest part of Kiriath Jearim. The border went out westward and went out to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah. The border went down to the furthest part of the mountain that lies before the valley of the son of Hinnom, which is in the valley of Rephaim northward. It went down to the valley of Hinnom to the side of the Jebusites southward and went down to En-Rogel. It extended northward, went out at En-Shemesh, and went out to Geliloth, which is opposite the ascent of Adumim. It went down to the stone of Bohan the son of Reuben. It passed along to the side opposite the Arabah northward and went down to Arabah. The border passed along to the side of Beth Hoglah northward, and the border ended at the north bay of the Salt Sea at the south end of the Jordan. This was the south border. The Jordan was its border on the east quarter. This was the inheritance of the children of Benjamin by the borders around it according to their families. Now the cities of the tribe of the children of Benjamin according to their families were Jericho, Beth Hagla, Emek Keziz, Beth Araba, Zemaraim, Bethel, Avim, Para, Ophrah, Shephar, Ammoni, Ophni, and Geba. 12 cities with their villages: Gibeon, Ramah, Beeroth, Mizpah, Shepirah, Moza, Rechem, Urpil, Terah, Zillah, Eleph, the Jebusite, and also called Jerusalem, Gibeath, and Kiriath. 14 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the children of Benjamin according to their families.
Well, we see again, we're back to the allotment of the property, or the land of the Canaanites. And I'm not too sure exactly what's going on here, but it gets into Ephraim and the half tribe of Manasseh, and it seems like they're complaining. I don't know if it's complaining, but they didn't drive out the people that God asked them to, and now they're worried about not having enough property. It kind of reminds me of, are we doing everything that God has asked us to do? And if not, are we complaining about not having the blessings from God? That's what it stood out to me like.
For me, I loved how the tabernacle was first set up in Shiloh. And that has a lot of meaning. It holds a lot of meaning for me because my family on my dad's side, and I think part of my family on my mom's side as well, they came out of the United States as freed slaves to Canada, which my family viewed Canada as the place of freedom. It was like the promised land for those who had previously been slaves and who were still being treated like slaves, basically, in the United States, in the southern United States. So my great-grandparents, they organized, my great-grandfather was a preacher, and he organized the families that, from his congregation, to go up to Canada, to Saskatchewan specifically, for freedom. Mm-hmm. And the church that they set up is called Shiloh, the place of freedom, like the place where they're going to worship God.
A callback.
Yeah, in the promised land, being Canada. So
wow.
it holds a lot of meaning for me in that way.
It's neat to see. So Shiloh's the first place they set up the ark in the promised land, but eventually we know that it's going to be Jerusalem, and there's so much contention around this city, Jerusalem, because they didn't drive out the inhabitants, the Jebusites, but yet that's where God was going to place his name.
And apparently there's 3 rivers that are linked to Jerusalem. And it looks like a sideways, like 3. A 3, yeah. Or like that. I can't do it with my fingers, but like that. And that is in the Hebrew language.
The Hebrew alphabet, it represents the letter Shin.
Shin, exactly, which is a very sacred letter in the Hebrew alphabet.
Yeah, because it's the beginning of the Hebrew word Shaddai, which literally means God Almighty. So it was like God was putting his monogram or moniker on the city of Jerusalem.
And they didn't have at that time, they didn't have aerial footage of land. They didn't have drones that could, look to see what everything looked like. But God did. He could see that this was the place he was stamping. This is my holy place where my temple will be built one day, which it eventually was. And that it actually means God Almighty. This is where God Almighty, where I will rest, where I will be, yeah. Where I will be worshipped. And it literally is in the shape of Shin. Yeah. I mean, that's amazing.
We can speculate all we want, but I think it's pretty cool that God is working, or it's obvious that God is working more than we can see.
And again, we see how God is, again, trying to explain and show to us, I am real, I exist, I am your God. And he puts all these clues, throughout history so that we can look back and go, what?
It's a treasure map.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
To reinforce our faith and to help us know that we can trust in him. He is a God of order. He's a God of mercy. He's a God of love. And he really is a God that looks ahead to make sure that we're taken care of.
So true. See you again next time.